And until now, we have discussed the basic concepts of the final account, like the meaning of the trading account, the profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. I have already explained that trading account is a statement, is basically an account that is prepared with a view, with a purpose to calculate the gross profit or the gross loss generated by a business during its productive activities. And then profit and loss account is also an account which is prepared with the purpose of calculating the net profit or net loss of the entity. And balance sheet is a statement that gives you the idea of the financial position of the business at a particular date, usually at the last date of a particular year. So balance sheet will give you the idea about the total asset and the total amount of liability that a firm have at the end of the year. So all of these things we have already discussed in this chapter. And in the last session, we were discussing about the adjustment entries. So we will continue from that point onwards. So just give me a moment. Let me change the slide to that particular topic. Okay. So we have started this topic at the end of the last session, wherein I have told you that adjustment entries are basically those entries which are passed at the end of the accounting year. And why these entries are required? Because generally the accounting is done on the basis of accrual basis. Accrual basis accounting basically means that we should recognize any income or expense as and when they are incurred, or they are due, instead of recording the expenses or income on the basis of cash. So most of the time we prepare the account on accrual basis, not on the basis of cash. So what cash basis accounting says? Cash basis accounting basically says that every income and expenses should be recorded only when there is inflow or outflow of cash, not before that. But as far as the accrual basis accounting is concerned, accrual basis accounting basically says that we should recognize the income as and when they have been earned by the business, instead of when they will be actually received by the business. So let me explain this concept in a little detail. Just a minute. Okay. So what is the basic difference between the cash basis accounting and the accrual basis accounting? Cash basis accounting, accrual basis accounting. Okay. So as per cash basis accounting basically says that income should be recorded. Income should be recorded in the financial accounting when that income is actually received. When income is actually received. And as far as the expenses are concerned, in context of expenses, cash basis accounting says that expenses should only be taken into consideration, should only be recorded in the financial account when the payment has been actually made. So cash basis accounting is pretty simple. As per cash basis accounting, we should record income and expenses as and when the payment has been made or the amount has been received. This is it. This is what cash basis accounting says. So let me give you an example. Let's suppose there is a person who is working For example, let's say he's working in XYZ Limited, and let's suppose his salary is 50,000 per month. This is his basic salary that is paid to him every month. So now the payment is due at the end of, let's suppose his salary is due on every 30th of every month, 30th of the month. So if I talk about in the month of January, so his salary will be due on 30th of January, but he received payment on the 7th of the next month. Payment is received on, let's say, 8th of the next month. 8th of next month. This is what happens with him. So basically his salary is 50,000 per month. His salary will be due. Basically he will be entitled to receive the salary on 30th of the month, but his salary will be paid and credited to his account only on the 8th of the next month. So as far as the accounting is concerned, let's suppose he is following the cash basis accounting. Let's suppose he is recording all of his income and expenses as per the cash basis accounting. So tell me, at what time he will be recording the salary in his books of account? Tell me, at what time he will be recording the salary in his books of account? He will be recording the salary in his book of account on the 30th of the month or the 8th of the next month. Tell me, if he's following the cash basis accounting.
Sir,
8th of the month. Is it clear to everyone or not? Hamad, are you there? Alexander, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Hamad. So Hamad, am I audible now? Yeah, okay. So you got this point now, that if he's following the cash basis accounting, then he will be recording the amount of salary in his books of account only on the 8th of the next month, not before that. Why he will be doing so? Because he's following the cash basis accounting. Even though he's entitled to receive the salary on 30th of the month, but he won't be recording this salary in his book of account until the 8th of the next month, because he's following the cash basis accounting. That is what cash basis accounting basically means. But now let's talk about the accrual basis accounting. So as per the accrual basis accounting basically says that we should recognize the income or expenses when they are actually due, not when they are actually paid or received. So let me give you an example. Let's suppose, let me first explain this. So as per accrual basis, income, and if there are expenses. Okay, so income should be recorded in the books of account. At what time it should be recorded in the books of account? As and when the income is due. Income as and when income is due. So what do you mean by income is due? Income is due basically means when a particular person is entitled to receive that income, at that time only he should record that income in his books of account. And same goes with the expenses. Expenses should be recorded in the books of account irrespective of whether it is paid or not. It should be recorded as and when they are actually due. When payment is due, it should be recorded in the books of account. This is it. Payment is due. Okay, so this is what accrual basis accounting says. So now, because most of the time we record the expenses on cash basis, so in order to adjust those expenses and income, we have to make adjustment entries at the end of the year. That is why we are doing the adjustment entries. You getting my point? So adjustment entries are what? Adjustment entries are those entries which are passed at the end of the accounting year. Why adjustment entries are required? Because in accrual basis of accounting, we recognize income when we earn them and not when we receive the cash. Similarly, we recognize the expenses when we incur them and not when we actually pay for them. Also, there are some income earned but not received, and income which are received in advance at the end of the accounting period. Similarly, there may be expenses which are outstanding, and also there can be prepaid expenses. Such accrued incomes or incomes received in advance, outstanding and prepaid expenses require adjustment in the books of account. So for the time being, just keep that in mind that we need to make adjustment entries because of the accrual basis accounting. In cash basis accounting, we are not required to pass the adjustment entries. Only if we are preparing the accounts as per the accrual basis accounting, then only we will be required to enter the adjustment entries. Adjustment entries won't be required in case of cash basis accounting. So for now, just keep that in mind. Moving on to next slide. I think we have understood in the last session that for the following activities or following items, we usually require the adjustment entries. So adjustment entries are mostly required for the closing stock, outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, accrued income, income received in advance, depreciation, interest on capital, interest on drawing, and bad debts. And there are few more items for which adjustment entries will be required that we will be covering through the questions only. Okay, moving on to adjustment number 1, adjustment for the closing stock. We have already learned about the closing stock adjustment. So whenever there is any information regarding the closing stock, we are well aware that closing stock has to be entered at 2 places. First of all, we will be writing it in the trading account on the debit side and on the credit side, and then in the balance sheet in the asset side. Okay, so this is how it will be recorded. I think we have covered this part in the last session as well. Then I have already told you that if there are any outstanding expenses given in the question, so outstanding expenses will be recorded in the either it can be recorded in the trading account or it will be recorded in the profit and loss account, depending upon whether that outstanding expense is a direct outstanding expense or the indirect outstanding expense. So you will be able to understand this particular point through the question. Don't worry about that. Then trading account should be recorded in the debit side, and if there are outstanding expenses, then it should also be recorded in the balance sheet on the liability side. So this is how we will be recording it. Okay, then we have the entry for the depreciation, how we are going to adjust the depreciation. So depreciation, if there is any information regarding the depreciation, so first of all, we will be debiting it in the profit and loss account, and again we will be writing in the balance sheet by reducing the value of the asset by the amount of depreciation. So profit and loss account on the debit side and balance sheet, it will be reduced from the value of the asset. This is how we will be recording it in the profit and loss account on the debit side. And in the balance sheet, we will be writing the value of depreciation after reducing it from the fixed asset. Okay, so guys, let's do one question based on the following topics. So based on these topics, sorry, and so that you will be able to understand it in a better manner. So let's do this question. Are you able to see this question, everyone? Is the question visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So somebody has sent a message. Just a minute. All right. So guys, please take the screenshot of this question. We will be doing this question, and all of you just prepare the trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. All of you just prepare the format of all these accounts: profit and loss account, the balance sheet, and the trading account. And let me also prepare just a minute. Done, everyone? Done with the format? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is how we will be preparing the format. So this is my trading account. Then this will be my profit and loss account. And then I have my balance sheet. Balance sheet. Okay. So let's look at the items one by one. So the first item in the question is just so there are adjustment entries already given in the question. So first adjustment entry is given about the closing stock. So we will treat the adjustment entries later. We will first of all post the items in the relevant column. Then we will come back to the adjustment entries. All right, everyone. So just first of all focus on the basically the trial balance, the table given in the question. So we have first of all capital in the question 1,90,000. So anyone please tell me where we will be recording the value of capital. Where do we record the value of capital? Everyone?
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet on which side?
Liability.
So correct. So we will be writing it in the balance sheet. I'm sorry. So value of capital in the balance sheet 1,90,000. And the second item in the question is drawings. So as you already know that we always reduce the value of drawing from the value of the capital. So drawings will be written again in the liability side of the balance sheet. Drawing. $7,000. And then we will add profit in it. But we will have to, for finding out the net profit, we will have to prepare the profit and loss account. So we will leave it for now. Net profit. It will be added here, and then the final value will be written in the final column of the balance sheet. Okay. Now moving on to next item. Next item we have is plant and machinery. Okay, so there is one adjustment entry is also given regarding the plant and machinery. See adjustment entry number 2. Are you able to see that? Depreciate plant and machinery by 10%. Is that visible to everyone? Item second in the adjustment entry, it is about plant and machinery. This adjustment entry is regarding the plant and machinery. Is that clear, everyone? So here
Yes,
it's written that depreciation on plant and machinery is 10%. All right, so let's treat this. First of all, plant and machinery is given as 1,20,000. And as I have already told you that plant and machinery is always written in the balance sheet, right? So we will be writing plant and machinery in the balance sheet. Okay, but plant and machinery will be adjusted 10% of depreciation. So 1,20,000 is the value of the plant and machinery, right, everyone? Then we will reduce the value of the depreciation from it. Depreciation will be reduced. Depreciation is how much? It is 10% on the plant and machinery. So 10% of 1,20,000 will be 12,000, right? We will reduce this amount and we will write it down, write it here. 1,08,000 will be the final value. Tell me, is this clear, everyone?
yes, sir.
Halima, Steve, Hamad, is this clear? Okay. We will have to post the value of the depreciation in one more account. Anyone is going to tell me that? Where we will be writing the value of the depreciation apart from balance sheet? Where we should write it down? Apart from balance sheet, we will be writing it in
Profit and loss account.
profit and loss account. On which side? Because it is an
Debit.
on the debit side. So we will be writing to depreciation on machinery. To depreciation on machinery. 12,000. Tell me everyone, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible to everyone clearly now?
Sir, yes, screen is visible. Sir, there we like wrote plant and machinery, and here it's only machinery.
You can write down the full name as well, plant and machinery. Let me just correct it. So you can.
So only machinery also we can write, isn't it?
You can write that plant and machinery. Let me write it. Plant and machinery. Okay. Now moving on to the next item. Next item we have is delivery vehicle. So there is adjustment entry regarding the delivery vehicle as well in the question, right? Item number 2 again, delivery vehicle depreciation at the rate 15% will be charged on the delivery vehicle as well. Is it clear everyone that on delivery vehicle also we will be charging depreciation at the rate 15%. All right. So first of all, tell me delivery where I should write down the value of the delivery vehicle, whether I should write it in the trading account or the profit and loss account or the balance sheet. What do you think? What are delivery vehicle? These are asset, liability, income, or expense. Delivery vehicle are what? Anyone?
Asset.
Asset, correct. It is an asset. So we will be writing it in the balance sheet. So we will be writing it here, delivery vehicle. Alexander, is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
So 26,000 was the value, and then we will reduce the value of the depreciation 15%. So depreciation at the rate 15%. So just let me calculate. So 3,900 is the value of the depreciation. 3,900. We will reduce 3,900 from 26,000. So 22,100 will be the final value of the delivery vehicle. 22,100. Okay. Now we will write down the value of the depreciation of the plant and machinery as well. So here I will write to plant and machinery. Sorry, to depreciation on delivery vehicle. Next item we have is sundry debtors. So there are no adjustment entry regarding sundry debtors. So I can write it down directly in the balance sheet, sundry debtors on the asset side. Sundry debtors on the asset side. Then the next item in the question is sundry creditors. So sundry creditors is also 26,000. So there is no adjustment entry regarding the sundry creditors as well. So 26,000 I can write it down directly in the 26,000 directly in the balance sheet on the liability side. So sundry creditors 26,000. Then next item after that is purchases. So purchases are 20,000 and there are no adjustment entry regarding the purchases as well. So purchases will be directly written in the trading account. Yes or no? Purchases will be written in the trading account or the profit and loss account. So
Trading.
Written in the trading account. So we will write down two purchases. Okay. After that, we have the next item. Next item is sales, that is 42,000. So sales is always written after adjusting the value of the sales return. So I don't think there is any information regarding the sales return or purchase return in the question. So I can write it down directly in the trading account without adjusting the value of the returns. So sales is 42,000. I will write down buy sales 42,000. Okay. Next item is wages. Again, wages is a trading account item. So wages will be recorded in the trading account 8,000 to wages. Next item after that is cash at bank. All right. So what is cash at bank? Cash at bank is an asset, sir. So we will be writing it in the balance sheet on the asset side. Cash at bank in the asset. Cash at bank 26,000. Next item. Next is salaries. Tell me everyone, where do we record salaries? Where I should record the salary?
Profit and loss.
Profit and loss account, correct. So salaries, the value of salary is 8,000. I will write it here to salaries. 8,000. Okay. Then we have the information about repairs. So there is 1,900 we have spent on repairs, and there is one more information regarding the repairs in the adjustment entries. Are you able to see that? Item number 3rd, unpaid rent amount to rupees 500. Everybody is able to see that. In the adjustment entries, we have the unpaid rent. Is it visible to everyone now?
Yes, sir.
Basically outstanding expense. This is an outstanding expense. This is an outstanding expense. Unpaid rent is an outstanding expense. So how we will be treating it? See, try to pay attention here. Outstanding rent is 500 and the repair, just a minute, please. Outstanding rent it is, na? It is not repairs. I'm sorry. Sorry. Repairs are different, rent are different. Sorry. So we will be writing the value of the repairs only in the profit and loss account. So to repairs. $1,900. Then we have stock on 1st April 2018. Tell me guys, where I should record the stock on 1st April? Tell me.
Trading account.
On the trading account on the debit side. So to
Yes.
opening stock. To opening stock, and it is 16,000. Then we have rent. So rent is 4,500, and rent is obviously is an indirect expense. So we will be recording it in the profit and loss account. And now try to pay attention here. To rent is 4,500, but there is undue rent is of 500 as well. So we will add outstanding rent. We will add outstanding rent of 500. And now we will write down the final value here. Is that clear, everyone? And apart from writing the outstanding rent in the profit and loss account, we will again writing it in which account, in which statement? Tell me. We will further write it down somewhere else. Tell me where we will be writing it. Outstanding rent will be further recorded in which account? Balance sheet, the trading account, or where?
Liabilities.
Liabilities, correct. On the liability side in the balance sheet. So we will be writing it here. Outstanding rent. Outstanding rent is a liability, obviously. So we will be writing it here, 500. Alexander, Hamad, Steve, is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Hamad, is this clear? Okay. What happened to your microphone? Hamad is not responding anything today. He is only writing. Okay. So now moving on to next item, we have manufacturing expenses. So as it is already written in the question that it is related to manufacturing, so obviously it will be a direct expense. Manufacturing expense of 1500. So we will go back to trading account and write it here to manufacturing expense. All right. Then we have bills payable 23,500. Tell me, how do we treat bills payable? What are bills payable? These are asset, liability, expense, income. Tell me where we should write down the bills payable.
Liability.
Liability. So we will go to the balance sheet. On the liability side, we will write down bills payable. $23,500. After that, we have the information about the bad debts. So tell me, bad debts are expenses or loss. Obviously, it is a loss. So we will be writing it in the profit and loss account, 5,000. Profit and loss account. To bad debts. Okay. Then we have carriage. Okay. So carriage is how much it is? It is 1600. So I will be writing it in the trading account, obviously, because carriage is a direct expense. So carriage in the trading account. To carriage 1600. All right, everyone, this is it. And we have one more adjustment entries yet to be recorded, that is closing stock. So closing stock is 16,000. We will write it at two places. First in the trading account on the credit side by closing stock. 16,000, and again in the balance sheet on the asset side by closing stock 16,000. Done. So we have recorded all the items in the relevant column. Now all we are required to do now is that we will be totaling the debit and the credit side and finding the gross profit, net profit, and tallying the balance sheet. This is it. So first of all, let's find out the gross profit in this question. So gross profit will be how much? It will be, so let's calculate 42,000 plus 16,000, and from this value we will be reducing 16,000 values on the credit side, then 20,000, then 8,000, 1,500, and 1,600. So 10,900 is the gross profit. Everyone, please write it down. Gross profit will be 10,600. And now we will close this account by tallying both the sides. So sum total of both the sides will be 42 and.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Is it 10,900 or 10,600?
Yeah, 10,900. Sorry, 10,900 should be. $10,900, and now we will tally both the sides. So it will be 58,000, and it should also be 58,000. Okay, now we will carry forward this gross profit to the profit and loss account, right? So we will be taking it forward to the gross profit, to the profit and loss account. So here I will be writing by gross profit and 10,900. All right, is that clear now, everyone? Any doubts till this point? Alexander,
sir.
Steve, Halima. So everyone, please find out the net profit in this question. Everyone, please calculate net profit and let me know. Please find out the net profit. Or if there are net loss, please calculate. I think in this case, we will be going to have a net loss. Net loss should be 24,900, I think. 24,900. Is it clear, everybody? Any problems? Alexander, Steve, Hamad, Peer, Halima.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt. Now we will carry forward this profit. Not net profit. Nah, what I'm doing. Should be not net loss. We are having a net loss of 24,900. So net loss. Now we will carry it forward to the balance sheet. So net loss is there, so I'll have to erase this. And since net profit is added, therefore we will reduce the net loss. Net loss is subtracted. So 24,900. So 1,90,000. Reducing 7,000 and 24,900, we will get 1,58,100. Now we will tally both the sides of the balance sheet. So you should get the balance on both the sides should be 2,80,100. 2,80,100. Tell me, everyone, is this clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Clear.
Clear. Okay. So this is all about this question. And okay, so you guys are still writing it, or are you guys done?
Done.
Done. Alexander, done?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. So this is how we do the adjustment question that contains adjustment entries. Let's do one more question. Just a minute. Okay. So here's the question, all of you. And this time you will be you will be doing this question, and I'll only be guiding you. So just prepare all of you prepare the trading and profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Everybody, just prepare the format first of all. We will be posting the items one by one in the relevant account along with the adjustment entries. Just do it. Just prepare the format of the trading, profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Let me know when you are done. Then we will be posting the items in the relevant account. Is the question is not visible to you? This question is visible, everybody?
No, no, sir.
No.
Just, I'm sorry. Visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So you need to do this question, and in this question, again, we need to prepare the final account. So you will have to prepare the profit and loss account, trading account, and the balance sheet. So first of all, everybody prepare the format of all these accounts. Then we will be posting the items in the relevant account one by one, along with the additional information that is given in the question. So do it quickly. Let me know when you are done with the format. The third most downloaded. Done, everybody, with the format?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Halima, Ahmad, Steve.
Done.
Okay, so first of all, the first item in the question is capital. So I think you already know that where we should write down the value of the capital. So please write it in the balance sheet, capital in the balance sheet on the liability side. Do it quickly. Then we have the information about the creditors. So again, creditors is a liability. So we will be writing it in the balance sheet on the liability side, 12,000. Okay. Third item in this question is return outward. So what is return outward? Anyone? Harima, what is return outward? Return outward is a purchase return or the sales return?
Purchase return.
Purchase return, correct. So we will be writing, we will be adjusting the return outward from the value of the purchases. So let's find out the value of the purchase in the question, whether it is given or not. So I think purchases are given in the question. The third last item on the right hand side column, purchases 1,05,000 is already given in the question. So please write down the value of the purchases after adjusting the return outward in the trading account. Is it clear now, everybody? We will be reducing 5,000 of the return outward from the value of the purchases, 1,05,000. So the final value of the purchases will be 1 lakh. It should be written in the trading account. Hamad, Alexander, is this clear? How do we treat the purchases?
Clear.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Hamad. So next item we have is sales. Sales is also written in the trading account after adjusting the value of the returns inward. So just find out whether return inward is given in this question or not. So I think the last item on the right and left hand side column of this particular table is returns inward. So returns inward is basically the sales return. So we will write down the value of the sales in the trading account after adjusting the value of the returns. So 1,64,000 minus returns inward 3,000. So the final value of sales will be 1,61,000. It should be recorded on the credit side of the trading account. Okay, then we have wages. So I think till now you must have understood that if there are wages given in the question, then it is obviously treated as a direct expense and written in the trading account. So please write down wages in the trading account on the debit side, 50,000. Then we have bank. So bank is what? Bank is an asset. We will be writing it in the balance sheet on the asset side. Please write it down in the balance sheet asset side, 10,000. Okay, then we have repairs. So just see in the additional information, there is additional information number 4 is given regarding the repairs. Are you able to see, everybody? Additional information about repairs is 400 is due for repairs. Is that clear now? That means there is an outstanding repair expense of rupees 400 that is not yet paid by the company. Is it clear now that 400 is due for repairs? That basically means that 400 rupees of repairs is still outstanding. So anybody is going to tell me how we will be treating the value of the repairs and the amount due for repairs? Alexander, are you going to explain this to me?
Okay, sir.
Please tell me.
We subtracted, we added to the repairs in the profit and loss account.
Perfect.
And then we also posted in balance sheet.
By the name of outstanding repairs, or you can either write it as outstanding expenses. All right, so do it quickly. Repairs will be written in the profit and loss account, 500 plus outstanding repairs, 400. So the total amount of repairs will be recorded in the profit and loss account. It will be 900 on the debit side. And then again, in the balance sheet on the liability side, we will write down outstanding repairs or outstanding expenses, 400 on the liability side. Okay, I hope you must have written it by now. So moving on to next item, stock on 1st April 2018 is 20,000. So obviously this is an opening stock. So I'm sure that you already know how do we treat the opening stock. So we will be writing it in the trading account on the asset side by the name of to opening stock 20,000. Then we have rent. Rent is an expense, obviously. And since nothing is given, so we will presume it as an indirect expense. We will write it in the profit and loss account on the debit side. Rent should be written in the profit and loss account, debit side, 4,000. After that, we have manufacturing expenses, 8,000. So as the item itself specifically mentioned that it is a manufacturing expense, so it should be recorded in the trading account, debit side, 8,000 by the name of manufacturing expense, 8,000. Okay, anybody is going to tell me where we should write down the trade expenses? Halima, do you have any idea where should we write down the value of the trade expenses?
Profit and loss account, debit side.
Perfect, very good. Trading expenses should be recorded in the profit and loss account, debit side. Please write it down, everyone. Then after that, we have bad debts. And there is additional information is also given about the bad debt. Bad debt is 2000, and there is additional information about bad debt where it is written that write off bad debt of bad debt 5000. So tell me how we will be, how we are going to treat this. Tell me how should we treat bad debts. Anyone? Alexander, do you have any idea how do we treat bad debts?
Sir, we have to subtract 5000 from bad debts first, or what is write-off?
See, first of all, since bad debt is already 2000 given in the question, and we have further bad debt of rupees 5000, that means total bad debt will be 7000. So we will be adding 5000 in the bad debts. Is that clear now? So we will be how we are going to treat it. We will go to the profit and loss account, write down bad debts 2000 plus additional bad debt 5000. Is it clear, everybody? We will write down, let me show you how it will be done. Just a minute. So let's suppose, let me erase this. Okay. So let's suppose this is a profit and loss account. So we will be writing it this way. Bad debt is already charged 2000, but there is additional bad debt of rupees 5000. So additional bad debt of rupees 5000 will be further added. So we will write down the final value in the final column 7000. This is how we will be treating it. Number one, in the profit and loss account. Then, as I have already told you that any item in the adjustment entry is recorded at two places. So first of all, we have recorded it in the profit and loss account. Then again, we will have to record it in the balance sheet. Now see, try to pay attention. Bad debt, how we will be recording it in the balance sheet? We will be basically reducing the value of the debtor by 5000. See, let's suppose this is debtor 36,000. Suppose that debtor is 36,000. So we will reduce the value of the additional bad debt. So additional bad debt is how much? 5,000. So we will be subtracting 5,000 from here, and we will writing the final value 31,000. This is how bad debt will be affecting the profit and loss account in the balance sheet. Tell me, is this clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Anybody needs more explanation about this? If anybody wants me to explain it again, I can do that as well. Hamad, is this clear now? Alexander, is this clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Hamad, please tell me in the chat. Okay, you got it. All right, so do it quickly, everyone. So write it in the profit and loss account first of all. Bad debt plus additional bad debt of rupees 5,000. So 7,000 in the profit and loss account, and then in the balance sheet, debtors will be reduced by the amount by rupees 2,000. So sundry debtors is given in the question. Now sundry debtors is 24,000. We will be reducing 5,000 from the sundry debtors. So the final value will be 19,000. Okay. After that, we have carriage. Carriage is all obviously it is a direct expense. So we will be recording it in the trading account. Write it down, everybody, quickly. Carriage 1,500. Then we have fuel and power. Fuel and power. Fuel and power is a direct expense again. Please write it in the trading account on the debit side, 1,000. Okay. Now we have a few items that we have left on the left side of the column, left side of this table. So There is information regarding the bills payable. So bills payable is how much? Bills payable is 5,000. Please write it in the balance sheet liability side. Bills payable 5,000. Bills payable should be recorded in the balance sheet liability side. 5,000. Then we have plant and machinery, and regarding plant and machinery, there is an additional information given in the question, item number second, additional information second, where it is written that depreciation on plant and machinery is 4,000. So we have to depreciate the value of the plant and machinery by 4,000. So how we will be going to do that, Halima? Can you please explain how we will be indicating the value of the depreciation? How we will be going to treat this? Yeah, please tell me.
Depreciation will write in profit and loss account, debit side.
Correct. And
This amount will minus from that plant and machinery 40,000.
perfect. So everybody please write down the value of the depreciation in the profit and loss account, 4,000. And also reduce the plant and machinery by 4,000 and write it in the balance sheet. 4,000 minus 40,000 minus 4,000, it will be 36,000. Alexander, is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then we have the information regarding the sundry debtors, 24,000. So we'll have to write it in the asset side of the balance sheet, 24,000. And then there is information regarding the drawings. So drawings will obviously be reduced from the value of the capital, 10,000. Okay, so we have recorded all the items at the relevant account and statements. So this is it. Now we will have to find out the gross profit and the gross loss, or the net profit or net loss, and then finally tally the balance sheet. So come on everyone, just tell me the value of the gross profit you have got. Alexander, Halima, Hamad, and Steve, please find out the gross profit. Let me know the value, and also after that the net profit or net loss, and the asset side values of the balance sheet and the liability side values of the balance sheet as well.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Alexander, please.
Where do we put rent?
Rent is given in the question. Okay, so rent is how much is the rent? Where it is given? Okay, rent is obviously, so it is 4,000. So rent will be recorded in the profit and loss account.
But sir, what if it's for as a direct expense, like
Okay, Alexander, if nothing is mentioned in the question, let's say if it was written like this, that it is a rent of factory. If it was a direct rent, it would have been mentioned there that it is a factory rent. So if nothing is mentioned in the question, then we will presume it that it is a administrative rent that is related to office and administration. It is related to office basically. So it will be considered as an indirect expense rather than direct expense. But if with the rent, it is also written that it is a factory rent, then we will presume it that it is a direct expense. So then in that case, we will be writing it in the trading account, otherwise in the profit and loss account.
okay, sir, thanks.
All right, so everybody calculate the gross profit, then net profit or net loss. I think we are going to have a gross loss this time, and it should be around 5,000. Done, everyone? Gross loss or gross profit? Still calculating. Ahmad, what are you getting? Is it the gross loss or the gross profit? Okay. Done, Alexander. Anybody have calculated the gross profit or not? Alexander?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please tell me the gross profit.
Gross loss was 24,500.
24,500.
Oh, yeah.
This is too much. Okay. Let everyone else finish.
Okay.
Halima, you're getting the gross profit or gross loss?
I'm calculating.
You guys do not use calculator or what? I have already told you that while attending the class, please use calculator. Then why do you take a long time? Okay, let me just tally your trading account. So on the debit side, you should have the sales value of 1,61,000 and the closing stock of 14,500. Done, everyone? Sales should be 1,61,000. Closing stock should be 14,500. And on the debit side of the trading account, opening stock is 20,000. Net purchases is 1 lakh. Wages is 50,000. Manufacturing expenses 8,000. Carriage is 1,500. Fuel and power is 1,000. Is that the value everybody is getting? Alexander, you have the same values as I just repeated.
Sir, I didn't count closing stock. That's it.
Okay, so closing stock, you have to write it on the credit side of the trading account. Closing stock 14,500, and same value should be recorded in the balance sheet on the asset side. Halima, done?
I missed one, so I'm calculating that again.
So what you have missed? I'm sure you must have missed
That power, fuel.
power and fuel. Okay. Alright, guys. So because you are taking a long time to solve this question, so let me show you the correct trading account. So this is how the trading account will be prepared. This is the trading account. Please tally your solution with this solution. So the sum total of the credit side should be 1,80,500 and debit side should be 1,80,500 as well. Done, everyone? Any doubt with the trading account? Ahmad, Alexander, Halima, Steve. Any doubt with the trading account?
It's clear now.
Alexander, is it clear for you as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me show you the profit and loss account. So this is the profit and loss account. This is the profit and loss account. On the credit side, we will have the net loss that will be transferred from the trading account. No, I'm sorry. On the debit side, we will have the first gross loss 5,000 that will be transferred from the trading account. And apart from that, we have the repairs, outstanding repairs, rent, miscellaneous expenses, bad debts, additional bad debts, depreciation on plant and machinery, all of these. And because since there are no items on the credit column of the balance of the profit and loss account, so entire amount will be considered as the net loss only. So net loss will be 27,900. Tell me, Alexander, Hamad, and Steve, Halima, any doubts with the profit and loss account? Alexander, doubts?
No,
It's
no doubt.
clear.
Clear. Okay, so now what we will be doing with the net loss, we will be taking it forward to the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet, we will be adjusting the value of the capital by net loss. So this is how we will be writing it. So on the liability side of the balance sheet, we will have the capital less drawing less net loss. So the final value of the capital will be 62,100. Then we have the creditors, bills payable, outstanding repairs. All of these items are collectively known as the current liabilities. Creditors, bills payable, outstanding repairs, all of these are collectively known as the current liabilities. Okay, and if let's suppose if there was long-term loan, then in that case it will be considered as a long-term liability. So we will talk about that in the later session of this chapter. Don't worry about that. So on the asset side, we have the plant and machinery adjusted with the amount of depreciation of 4,000. Then we have closing stocks, sundry debtors, and the bank balance of rupees 10,000. This is it. So both sides should have the balance of 79,500. Tell me, guys, are you guys getting the same value? Halima, Alexander, Hamad, you guys are getting the same value? Yes or no? Just tell you the items now. Your balance sheet contains the same items as the balance sheet is shown on the screen. Alexander, Hamad, Halima. Any difference between your balance sheet and the balance sheet on screen? Alexander? Guys, am I?
No.
It's same.
Okay, it's same. So this is it. Guys, I hope that you understood how do we treat the adjustment entries, how do we basically record it in the relevant statement or account. So this is it for today's session in accounts. So let me see whether I have any question for your homework. Yes. So there are no homework today. We will be doing few more questions based on adjustment entries in the next question. Then I'll be giving you homework. So this is it for account session. We will take a break of 5 minutes. Then we will continue with our economics part. So those who are here for the account session will leave now. Thank you so much. So Alexander, we will be taking a break of 5 minutes. Then we will continue with our economic session.